Danny Searle after Ebbsfleet won, Crawley Town won. What are your thoughts on the last pre-season game?
Yeah, I thought he looked more like us. I thought if you look at the intensity of how we played and pressed and some of the quality of the football that we played, it looked more like how we should look. That's why I don't read too much into the Welling game and the Cambridge game, because the bottom line was they were working weeks in the sense of loading, and we came into this game a little bit fresher. So I think hopefully people saw a more realistic look at what we're going to look like this year.
You went behind in the second half and you got an equaliser through an own goal. The result was almost academic, but the performance, as you say, it was a real step forward from the performance at Welling earlier in the week, and there seemed to be a lot more hustle about the side. There was a lot more energy in there.
Yeah, they're things that I'd expect anyway as a given, and we just said that in the dressing room, that the biggest difference in this game between the last two was the work ethic. But to defend the lads, we sent them into the last two games very tired. This is pre-season. That's what pre-season's for. So we knew it'd be better today. We knew it was going to be better today. And as I said, even the lads that came on to finish the game, there was a good quality about what we're trying to do.
And there was a real expectation in the crowd at the end that there was a possibility of getting a winner. There was a lot of energy coming off the terraces as well from that performance, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I think that's what we spoke about that when I first came in, about that relationship between the players and the fans. We have to work off each other, and if we want to create a good atmosphere, they need something to get behind. And look, I have no doubt about this group, and we'll be fine. So I'm happy with today.
And really, preparing the team during pre-season is all about, it's a bit like a racehorse going into a big race or somebody going into the Olympics. It's about getting to a certain pitch at the right moment. And do you feel you've managed to get there, or have you got more work to do this week?
Yeah, I think there's things that happened today that I wasn't happy with, obviously, in isolation. So we need to work on those. We need to make sure we don't do that against what is going to be a very good Gateshead side. We've watched a lot of their games over pre-season, and they're no different than they were last year. They'll be up there or thereabouts, and it's a tough start for us. But we also back us. That's why we play teams like this, who are heavily possession-based sides, and we need to get our press right. We need to work out when not to press, like let them have it there. And I think that when you look at what we did today, I think within reason, even the goal they scored, it's a deflection, and it's I think whether Cuzzo saved it or not, we'll never know. But when you think of the chances we had in the first half, we could have gone into a 3-up at half time, and I actually think that would have been a fair reflection of the first half.
I was going to say that a 1-1 scoreline didn't actually reflect the state of play, did it? Because you seem to have a lot more possession. You were carrying the game to Crawley most of the game.
Yeah, and I think that showed the intent. And I think when you look at what not only what we started with, what we brought off the bench, we look stronger. With personnel as well. So I think from my perspective, the most important thing today was, like I said with the Welling and the Cambridge game, is to come out of it unscathed. No knocks, no injuries, other than a little bit of fatigue, and I'm happy with that. So
this week, you've got a week before you head off to Gateshead, just under a week. And is that going to be rest? Is it going to be fine-tuning? Is it going to be a couple of hard sessions? I mean, what does the week ahead look like?
All of that.
All of the above?
Yeah, it's making sure we get them the rest that they need on the days they need to have it. It's make sure that we fine-tune the little bits that we need to do. We're not going to get it completely fine-tuned, because that comes with development for a season, because competitive games are different, but we'll get as fine-tuned as we possibly can be going into the game, and then we have to put work into them, because you can't deload them completely. So it'll be basically all of that.
But it's not just physical, is it? It's also the mental approach to the game as well.
And that's where the rest is important. Sometimes the rest isn't about physicality, because it couldn't be a tough game, not necessarily physically, it could be a mentally tough game, and you need to make sure that they need to be sharp in their mind, probably even more than they do on their physical side. So we'll make sure we balance that out well this week the best that we can. And looking back now, you've completed your pre-season programme. Are you happy with how it's gone? Yeah, as a collective, if you look at the 8 games we've played, we're in a good position. We performed well in some. We were probably a little bit below par in others, and we've had some really good individual performances. We've had some good team collective performances, and almost emulates what a season looks like. And if we can do that and pick up the sort of hypothetical points that we did in pre-season, then yeah, we should be in a better position than we were last year, because that's the point that we're trying to make. We're trying to finish in a better position than we did last year. We don't want to be trying to survive on the last day of the season, and if we can do that, then that's success.
Well, you start the season with the longest away trip you could possibly have, with a trip to Gateshead, and you go with the well wishes of all the Fleet fans and come back with the best possible result.
Hopefully so, Chaz. Thank you.
Good luck, and good luck for the season.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Thank you very much.